What's going on, guys? In this video we're going to be talking about some clones that I feel are just worth buying. They're worth the money. These are ones that I wear personally. I enjoy these from time to time, some more so than others, but you know, it's pretty much a deep dive. There's a lot of brands out there doing their takes, their twists, their copies of certain fragrances, and like I said, in this video I've got 10 that I believe are worth checking out. Let's discuss, shall we? Stay tuned. Starting with the fragrance that started this video topic idea in the first place, I just wore this yesterday at the recording of this. This is a beastly clone of Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino. This is Haramain in the Portfolio series. This is Neroli Canvas. This is one I've had for years now, and it's been a little while since I wore it. I pulled it out the box, went to smelling it, and forgot just how good this is. It's pretty much carbon copy to Neroli Portofino, but way, way stronger. This is so good. Neroli Canvas. This is probably the best Neroli Portofino clone I've ever smelled. And I've got a bunch of them. There's way more out there than I even have. But if you're looking for a performer that gets pretty close to replicating the level of quality, not one-to-one in quality, but pretty damn close. This definitely is not a cheap smelling clone. This one's probably one of the more expensive in this video, $60 to $70 range. But when you compare it to what you're going to spend on even a 50 ml of Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino, and then factor in that you're going to get at minimum double the performance out of this, it's absolutely worth checking out. It's Haramain Neroli Canvas. Any of you that like the ombre leather scent profile will appreciate this one. This one can be found in the 30 some odd dollar range. It's from Afnan. It's called Rare Carbon. When I was gathering these together last night to do this video, I sprayed this one on my hand, and the leather is still there. It's so beautiful. It falls somewhere in between ombre leather and ombre leather parfum, because you get a little bit of that metallic, somewhat aquatic tone, the violet leaf feel, with the florals of the parfum, with the very much in-your-face tone of the leather from ombre leather, the original eau de parfum. Oh, this is such a good fragrance. I strongly encourage you guys to check this one out. There's a bunch of ombre leather clones out there. This is more of a twist than it is a direct carbon copy, and the quality's really good. Afnan's usually pretty good about, using pretty decent oils. Performance is well above average. I wouldn't call this some beast mode fragrance, but it's quite loud in the first 2 hours as far as my experience with it. This one has halted me once my ombre leather and ombre leather parfum decants ran out. It's really slowed the process on me getting bottles of the real deal, because this is just such a joy for the money. It's hard to beat. It really is, and it's definitely worth checking out. If you haven't yet, you probably should. It's Afnan Rare Carbon. Now, those of you that like the sweeter fragrances out there, this is a take on Baccarat Rouge 540, but it is much more of a sweet cotton candy cream type of feel to Baccarat Rouge 540. It's from Armaf. This is Club de Nuit Untold. This one got a ton of hype when it came out last year, and I was a little skeptical at first, to be honest with you. But I gotta say, it is one of the better ones that they've put in this Club de Nuit line. Very much has that burnt sugar smell, but this one's a little bit more cotton candy than it is just burnt sugar overall. Saffron doesn't really dominate too heavily. You're going to get a nice dose of amberwood, and performance is fantastic, as you would expect from most in the Club de Nuit line. This is definitely worth checking out. I wouldn't call this a one-to-one carbon copy to Baccarat Rouge 540 either. This one's kind of like a bit of Instant Crush's heart, with some of, believe it or not, that cotton candy feel to Ariana Grande Cloud. How that's much more sweet and playful than all the rest of the ones that smell like Baccarat Rouge 540. I feel like there's a combination of things going on here. You get a little bit of that top with some of the slightly more floral and almondy heart of Instant Crush, with the basis and the core of Baccarat Rouge 540. This is actually really good stuff. I like how they twist and turned it a little bit. Didn't veer away from the DNA, but kind of encompassed a lot of different facets to the profile with Club de Nuit Untold. I really like the twist on Sauvage Elixir with this one. Sub $30 price point, great performer. The pineapple and the coffee in this one really offer that nice twist that I was speaking of. This is Lattafa Asad. This one's hard not to like. Now look, not every human on the planet's going to like every single one of these fragrances, but if you're looking for an affordable way to smell like Sauvage Elixir, that's not one-to-one. It's definitely going the route of Sauvage Elixir, but like I said, that pineapple adds a little bit of different freshness to the top, and the coffee adds this different roasted tone to the heart of the fragrance. It's not just all woods and spices like Sauvage Elixir's DNA can be. Such a good fragrance, it really is. And you can typically find this somewhere in the mid-20s on up the $30 range, and it's a great performer. It really engulfed this airspace after that little mist in the air. This is some good stuff, guys. Look, it's super, super masculine. It's extremely robust and spicy. It's not going to be for everyone, but if you know you like Sauvage Elixir and you're just looking for that affordable alternative that will do the trick, going to get you the compliments, going to help you stand out, and it's going to perform, you're going to want to check out Lattafa Asad. Now, one of my favorite scents of all time is Maison Cedrat Boisé. Here, you're going to get a very close representation of that with Paris Corner's Emir Cedrat Essence. So, the difference on this one, notice that lime green colored juice, is because it's a bit more citrusy at the top than Cedrat Boisé. Cedrat Boisé has the citrus, it has the fruits, but it's slightly sweeter when you compare it to this directly. I did a full review on this one late last year at the recording of this video, and as it dries, instead of being more about a soft leather and a strong woody tone, there's more of a musky tone here. So again, not a direct one-to-one clone, but there's no mistaking. They were going for Cedrat Boisé, and they did pretty good here. They did pretty good. Another one that you can find for a great price in the $30 range that's worth owning. Now look, Cedrat Boisé from discounters, not the most expensive niche fragrance out there. I understand. $65, $75 range. You can get a bottle of that, but if you don't even want to spend that much, you want to spend half of that or less, depending on where you find it. I'll try to have links to all of these down below. You're going to want to get your hands on this one because it does the trick. It performs about what 6 to 8 hour range is what I get from that and from this. Obviously, your mileage will vary. You may get less, you may get more. Who knows until you spray it, but as far as the scent profile, I think it's going to be pretty hard to beat if you're looking for what I think is the best interpretation for the money of Maison Cedrat Boisé. You should check out Paris Corner Emir Cedrat Essence. The first time I smelled this one, it really impressed me. I did a full review on this one not that long ago. If you're a fan of Amouage Reflection Man and you want what I believe to be pretty much the best representation of it on a budget, you're going to want to check out Khadlaj Shiyaaka. So Shiyaaka is, I mean, it's a strange looking bottle. I get it. But they nailed the scent profile. It's got that woodsy, herbal, floral dominant feel. The petitgrain stands out. The only real difference I noticed between this and the real deal is the Lang-a-Lang stands out a little bit more in this one. A little bit more of a yellow floral feel to it. Boy, this is Reflection Man. This is Reflection Man. It performs great. I mean, it is Reflection Man on a budget. I'm not going to say it's not exactly one-to-one, but it's about as close as it gets. I would say this is every bit 95% of Reflection Man. This is great. Love smelling that in the air. This is such a good one. To be honest with you, if I would not have had Reflection Man before getting this, I don't know if I would have got Reflection Man. If nothing else, it would have slowed down me getting Reflection Man quite a bit, which is what Rare Carbon did with Ombre Leather and Ombre Leather Parfum. It's really stalled the process. I want to get bottles eventually, but it really stalled the process by about 6 months so far. And I think this would have did the same thing. Because at the end of the day, this is a great way to experience these originals at a fraction of the cost. They don't completely replace them. For some people they do. But I still like to have the different experiences. And I got to say, this experience is such a close representation to Reflection Man. It would have really put a big stall in the process on getting the bottle had I not had it already. But at the same time, I was able to really see just how close they actually are because of my experience with the original. So if you're looking for what I believe to be as close as it's going to get to an affordable replacement for Amouage Reflection Man, here it is with Khadlaj Shiyaaka. Now, some people hate it, some people love it for 30 some odd dollars. It's pretty much Bulgari's Tigar. It's Afnan, Turathi Blue. Now, this is me going off of what everybody else says because I've never tried Tigar. But if I judge this as a standalone, you want to talk about a beautiful spiced grapefruit with soft woods. This is so good. Whew, it's one of the better openings out there. It just is, especially if you like citrus. This is beautiful. Oh, that spice, that warm, it's a warm citrus at the top from this peppery spice that it has. Nice, robust, woody tone in the backdrop. It's not complicated. It's not deep and complex. It just flat out smells good. And you can get this one for such a good price. And Afnan's known for having pretty good oils. The others we've talked about in this video from Afnan, you notice that's always one of the main things I say is the level of quality. That's what makes them one of my favorite affordable Middle Eastern houses. They do a great job. And nothing was sacrificed here in that aspect. This is a really good fragrance. Now, if you're looking for something in the cold weather, you might need to expand the wardrobe a little bit more beyond this because it's not the greatest performer beyond the warm weather. From what I've noticed, it does fall in the 6 to 8 hour range, but I don't feel like it survives too well in the cold because I did get this early stages of winter, and it wasn't the greatest performer. It would get a little faint after a handful of hours. Quicker than usual. The projection would kind of tone down. I feel like this one needs a little bit of heat to it to really start to shine. But if you do that, because I've sprayed it recently and we're in the spring, totally fine. It pumps off the skin pretty good. I think it's one of those things that needs a little bit of body heat, not necessarily high heat, but a little bit of body heat. If you're cold, I don't think it does too well. Maybe it's just the way it reacts on my skin. Who knows? But it smells phenomenal. Absolutely smells phenomenal. And decent performer. Like I said, above average, but not a beast in any way, shape, or form. I would consider this best seasonably suited for spring, summer, and fall. It's definitely worth checking out, especially if you've tried Tigar and you want a great affordable representation. Check out Turathi Blue. Angel Share from Killian is one of my favorite DNAs ever. I have a bunch of ways to smell like it, and some of you may be surprised that I didn't go with Lattafa's Camera here, but that's a much more sweet take and twist on the DNA, whereas this is more carbon copy, more about the cinnamon. I love spice. Love spice, so it was easy for me to like Fede Intoxicate. This I like a bit more than Camera. Not drastically. If I got to pick between the two, I'm picking this one though. Because like I said, it's dominated by the spice as compared to just being super sweet. Has a little bit of that gingerbread smell to it. Just the cinnamon shines here. You have the booziness. It's still present. The sweet tone is not gone. It smells like Angel Share. I mean, if you've ever smelled that, here you go. This is a great affordable representation. The quality's pretty good. The performance is, I'm not going to call it an absolute monster, but it's in the realm of beastly. It all depends. It's pretty strong sillage coming off of my skin, and the longevity I put in the 8 to 10 hour range. Lattafa's Camera does last longer. It is a little bit stronger overall, but it's immensely sweet versus this one. So if you're not a fan of hugely sweet fragrances and you want some more spice, I would suggest checking this one out. Now, if you're all about the sweet, yeah, go with Lattafa Camera for sure. If sweet's your bag, that's going to be the one to get. But this one, you spicy fragrance lovers, or if you like a ton of cinnamon in your fragrances, this is the best affordable alternative for Angel Share that I own. That's why I wanted to talk about this one specifically. I would suggest getting into it. Like I said, if you like the cinnamon note and you want it kind of at the forefront, you're going to want to check out Fede Intoxicate. Next, this is a pretty much carbon copy of Versace Man Eau Fresh at an eau de parfum concentration. We're talking about Armaf's Aura Fresh. Fun fact. As I record this, when I woke up this morning, the first thing I do is check my comments on YouTube, and I had somebody comment on the video say that, why would I say this smells like Versace? It smells nothing like it. It smells like Acqua di Gio. And he spelled it, he butchered spelling Acqua di Gio. I'm sorry that your nose doesn't work, sir. This is Versace Man Eau Fresh, guys. And I mean spot on. And you can get it like $28, $29. It's become more readily available. and the price has dropped because Versace Mano Fresh is not the most expensive fragrance from discounters. But I'll tell you what, for 100 ml, this is going to be a bit cheaper. The quality's spot on. The scent profile is spot on. And the longevity, I get about 2 to 3 more hours out of this than I do Versace Mano Fresh. Nailed it down. That beautiful sour citrus carambola. Armaf Aura Fresh. God, this is so good. God, this is so good. If you like Versace Mano Fresh, this is longer lasting performance at a more affordable price. I encourage you to try this one. Now look, if you get pretty good performance out of Versace Mano Fresh, maybe there's no need for you with this one. I don't know. But if you're running low on your bottle, or maybe it's a first time buy and you've been wanting to get it, and you'd like to get the most longevity you can, because performance is very important to a lot of people. I totally get that. This nails down the scent profile. It smells the same. It's not as bright in the opening because it's a higher oil concentration, but you get longer life out of it. And hey, for some, that's a great trade-off. And for me, it definitely was. Again, that's Armaf Aura Fresh. This last one is a clone of Dior's Tobaccalore. I've never smelled that one, but I can tell you, Alhambra's Tabac, this is delicious. This is a beautiful honey sweet tobacco, a little fruity at the top. This is good stuff. Oh, it's been a little while since I've smelled it. It has this honeycomb smell to it. Honey, fruits, and tobacco. It's that simple. The tobacco here is a little earthy and dry. It's not rich, robust, and creamy. I think if you were to take the honey away, it would be quite a dry fragrance with the tobacco oil used. This is beautiful. This is a monster, too. This is a strong fragrance. I did a full review on this one last year. Not the best choice in the warm weather, I have to say. I would not want to reach for this one in the heat. But evenings out and then cooler weather as a whole, daytime or nighttime, this is magnificent if you're into tobacco fragrances. I need to try Dior's original to this because the clone is top-notch. It's top-notch. It smells incredible. Like I said, fruits, honey, and tobacco. It's that simple. It's warm and ambery as it dries. And it's a monster performer. I don't know what more you could ask for in the sub $30 price point. It's a banger, and it's definitely worth getting. Again, that's Maison Alhambra Tabac. Well, that's the 10 that I have for you today. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback. And I love hearing from you guys. What of these 10 have you tried, and what do you think about them? Curious to get you guys' thoughts down below. And until next time, I will say if you get your hands on any of these 10 and you give them a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.